Your wedding, it's a bit of a thing. You've been planning, making decisions, doing research for months, years. You've been spending money, you've been booking things, people, venues, hairdressers, and all the other stuff that goes to make your wedding day unique to what you want it to be. At some point, you're going to book. At some point, photographer will come up. Hi, I'm Alan, a wedding photographer, and I just want to spend a few minutes talking about wedding photography and possibly the problems of choosing your wedding photographer. Because if you want music at your wedding and you decide you want 3 violinists or a guitarist or someone playing the saxophone, that's pretty specific. And the number of musicians you can choose to do that for you is quite limited. When it comes to wedding photography, you've got hundreds of different people to choose from, and it possibly seems that they're all doing the same thing, they're just charging more money. Well, that's not quite true. Let me try and explain it a little bit and explain where I fit in and whether or not we might be a good fit for each other. So, and by the way, if my cat interferes, I apologise in advance. There is, for instance, Matt, who I know a little bit, who will photograph your entire day from prep to first dance for $495, I think it is. You will not meet him beforehand. You'll have a chat on the phone, some emails back and forth. He'll arrive on the day, do the wedding. He will then download the photos from his one camera and his one zoom lens and pop it onto a memory stick, USB, send that to you, job done. That's it. It's over. If that is what you want, then he's the right guy for you. He will photograph your wedding with no fuss, very simply, no decisions to make, and it's done. On the other hand, 2 years ago or so, I met a guy called Brett Florins. Check him out online if you want to. He is one of the world's top wedding photographers. I met him at a conference. We had a chat for 10 minutes over coffee. He charges, his least expensive package is $5,995. He and his 2 or 3 assistants will take over your wedding. They will basically run the whole day for you. You will spend at least 2 hours having photos done. Every photo will be edited and retouched so that if you wanted to send it to Vogue, they would be able to publish that picture with, and it would be of the sort of quality that Vogue or that kind of fashion magazine would use. Do you want that? Maybe if you only charge £500, you still wouldn't want him because you don't want someone taking over your wedding and spending 2.5 hours just doing photos. It's your wedding day. So it's not just about the price, it's about the style of the wedding photographer. And that can be quite difficult because all you get to see of most wedding photographers is their photos. And that's the end result of what they've done. So I think style of wedding photographers is the whole package. It's who the person is. What way do they photograph your wedding? Are they do they keep asking you to do certain things, just little poses here and there? Are they completely documentary, where they're just completely disappeared into the background? Do they get on well with your guests? Are they going to edit your photos so that regardless of what your wedding day was, it looks like summer, and it's every photo is nice and bright and shiny and everything looks perfect? Or are they going to give you mostly black and white photos? It matters because in 20 years' time, in fact in 1 month's time, all you've got after your weddings are the photos. Maybe you've kept the dress, but you know what I mean. So what's my style? I hope I give the impression from this video I'm pretty laid back and relaxed. I'm happy. I love weddings. I do weddings because I love doing them. I've been doing them now. This will be my 10th year. And 10 years ago, I finally got the chance in my life to do a job, to work at something that I loved. and I've loved every moment of it since. So I'm outgoing, friendly, relaxed. I hope, and I've been told that I mix well with people. By the way, let me just interrupt. Let me just show you this card that I got over Christmas from Ed and Sophie, whose wedding I photographed a couple of months ago. Alan, we just wanted to say a massive thank you for capturing the most beautiful photos of our wedding day on the 15th of October. Your communication throughout was spot on and we instantly felt comfortable with you. We also loved our engagement shoot, having the opportunity to meet you properly before the big day. It was really great. Love, Sophie and Ed. So that is what I want to give you. That is the feeling that I want you to have when I photograph your wedding. Because while there is obviously a lot about the photos afterwards, it's also that you don't want someone who doesn't fit in with your wedding on the day. You don't want someone who's bossy, who stands out as not being part of your wedding. You just want someone, I think you probably just want someone who blends in, who's just there, doesn't interrupt too much, gets the photos, and just is kind of nice to have around all day. That's what I try and do. The actual photos. I call myself a documentary wedding photographer, as do so many other wedding photographers. But there's different ways of doing that. I use 2 cameras with prime lenses on. I don't use a zoom lens. So I'm mixing with people. I view myself as a privileged guest. I'm mixed with your people. I'm always fairly close to you. I'm always keeping a lookout for something that might be happening, that might be interesting, an interesting shot. But not only that, if that shot comes off, how do I want to photograph it? Where should I be standing to get that best shot? Where is the light coming from? What is the background going to be? And I will try and position myself to get the best shot of what's happening in that moment. Because I want to give photos that aren't pictures, they are memories. They don't show you something, they give you a feeling. They prompt a memory. And I want to do that in the most artistic way I can, but without detracting or intruding into your wedding day. Yes, we've obviously got group shots to do, and I'll organise all that. We'll do some couple photos. I'll pick a spot somewhere, 2 or 3 spots somewhere at the wedding venue, and we'll spend 10-15 minutes getting those couple shots, those really special shots. But then after your wedding day, I'll have 1,200, 1,500 photos to edit. And I will then select the best 200, 250 to edit. And I will edit each photo to make it as good as it can be. I won't try and make it look like something it's not. If it's a wet, windy, cold day, it will look like a wet, windy, cold day. It won't look like midsummer. I don't just go and try and capture people smiling and being happy. Mostly, of course, that's what's happening at a wedding. But occasionally, people get upset. Kids are crying. Someone falls over, and it's all part of your wedding. And I think that story needs to be told, and that is what I try and do. So that at the end, when you get your 200, 250 photos, you have a full story that is real, that's natural, that you remember as it was. Yes, that's exactly how I remember it. I don't take photos to enter into competition, to win awards, to put on Instagram or anything like that. The photos I take are just for you. They're your memories and moments of your wedding day. I'll leave you now with a few shots from some previous weddings this year. And of course, if you'd like to talk about your wedding, please get in touch. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers for now.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling, you